Apparently, the disgusting and evil things that happen in a New Jersey police station stay in a New Jersey police station until they don't, because they can't. And they can't because it's too disgusting. Oh, and outrageous. Let's not forget the outrageous part and the criminal part. And did I mention disgusting?
Staying in New Jersey, officers in Bergen County say they're taking action against what they call a hostile work environment created by the police chief.
All right, fasten your seatbelts, because what I'm about to tell you, you're absolutely not going to believe. You're going to think I'm making this whole thing up. 5 New Jersey cops are suing this guy. That's their police chief, Robert Farley. And why are they suing Robert? Because they found out that he's violating the rights of the community that he's supposed to be protecting and serving. I wish it were that simple, but they're suing him because he shaves his body hairs on their desk, poops on the floor, and spikes their office coffee with Viagra and Adderall. And stay with me, because that's just Robert's warm-up lap. And yeah, that's Robert with his hand on the Bible during the swearing-in ceremony. I wonder what he smeared on the Bible before his wife and daughter touched it. I know it sounds like something Chris Farley would do in a skit on Saturday Night Live, playing the part of a coked-up police chief, but this is Robert Farley, no relation. A police chief in Hudson County is being accused of assaulting and harassing his officers in a lengthy list of complaints that includes defecating on floors, exposing himself, attempting to drug coworkers, and sticking a hypodermic needle into an officer's private parts. How does any of this even happen, Robert? According to court documents, Chief Robert Farley, who was appointed chief of the North Bergen Police Department in February 2024, is also accused of retaliating against an officer who attempted to report him to the New Jersey Attorney General, who is probably also as corrupt as the day is long. 5 police officers in North Bergen said that they plan to sue over Farley's alleged behavior, which also includes claims of retaliation, discrimination, sexual misconduct, and harassment. In an email on Wednesday, a township spokesperson called the claims false and outrageous. He said, "The township of North Bergen has full confidence in Chief Robert Farley's leadership." The spokesperson added that the township officials have referred the officers' complaints to the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office for review to avoid a conflict of interest. Now, I have insider information from a trusted source that the entire department was participating in this culture of pranking, so to speak, until Farley put a kibosh on the overtime. The list of complaints, though, ranges from a pattern of ongoing pranks like putting ink on door handles, setting off car alarms, or leaving crumbs on cops' desks, to much more serious allegations of using racial slurs, spiking the office coffee pot with Viagra and Adderall, and sending sex toys to an officer's home. This is attorney Patrick Toscano, who filed the claims on behalf of the police officers, who said he's never seen anything like this in his life. The officers say Farley's toxic and abusive behavior has been ongoing since soon after he became the chief. He's been with the department for 26 years, and both his father and grandfather served as deputy chiefs. Some of the officers say they've reported Farley to the Attorney General's office and that a state investigation is underway. While a spokesperson for the office didn't immediately respond to a request for comment, this is what the attorney for the 5 officers bringing the lawsuit against Farley had to say.
Since the chief, apparently Mr. Farley was sworn in approximately 1 year ago. As soon as he became chief, the retaliation, the actions on the job, Mr. Farley's actions on the job, ostensibly immediately changed. In other words, as soon as he's sworn in, he then begins to do certain things within the department. As these things initially, or these acts are initially, for want of a better word, reflected by Mr. Farley, they get worse and worse. They progressively get worse and worse. Comes to a point where out of our 5 officers that we represent, 2 or 3 immediately begin to say, hey, listen, this is not just pranking anymore. This is getting, a little out of control. We're a law enforcement agency, so they would advise, the chief himself, Mr. Farley himself, as well as others, that these actions are getting out of control. Once they started to take umbrage at the actions, then remarks were made to them along the lines of, you can't take a joke. If you can't take it, get out, retire, get lost, remove yourself from the department. Again, subsequent to that, Mr. Farley's actions got worse and worse. So when I say worse and worse, worse and worse, month after month after month, to a point where the only way we could describe them now, and all you have to do is look at the evidence, the pictures, the photos, what's stated in the Title 59 Notices of Claim. We actually have another video, a separate video. All you have to do is take a look at those to show what these acts entail. And some of them are just absolutely disgusting. Others have nothing to do with the officers. When I say nothing to do with the officers on the job, it actually went so far as to send certain things to officers' homes. More precisely, masturbation cream, sexual toys, certain flags, gay flags. Listen, nobody really cares. If someone is gay, nobody cares about that. But why a gay flag would be sent by Mr. Farley to one of our officers' homes so the wife and the child could see it and open mail, we have no idea. You'd have to ask him that. Other acts include stabbing one of our officers in the genitals with a hypodermic needle, placing Viagra, Adderall in office coffee urns, for want of a better word, coffee pots, shaving. And I know some of this sounds a little weird, guys. It's not real easy to relay, because it's so bizarre. Shaving his arms, taking his shirt off, naked from the waist up, and shaving his arms on the desks of, I believe it's a deputy chief, scraping certain excrement off of his underwear onto persons' desks, defecating on the floor, near garbage cans, where witnesses watched it, saw it, not once, but numerous times. And this is just a smattering of certain things that were done. There's much more that are done, and they're all enumerated in the Title 59 Notices of Tort Claim. We've represented probably literally hundreds and hundreds of police officers over the years. What we do here at our firm, what we sort of specialize in, and you think you see it all. We've never seen anything like this in all my years. I'll be a lawyer almost 40 years next year.
So the township has released a statement. They say they have full confidence in the chief's leadership. They strongly deny these false and outrageous allegations. They say that your clients are disgruntled officers who are resorting to attacking the reputation of a dedicated public servant to further their own selfish goals, in their words. Your response to that?
Complete and utter rubbish. There's no other word to say that. Let me tell you why. First of all, you have documentary evidence. You have photographs of certain things that have gone on, fact. Other times you have witnesses, numerous witnesses, who've seen defecation, who've seen what was delivered or sent to one of our clients' homes. That's number 2. Number 3, all of our clients have straight out told us they'd have no problem whatsoever taking polygraph exams immediately. Now, we understand the admissibility of polygraphs in the state of New Jersey, but the fact of the matter is you're not going to have 5 law enforcement officers who say straight out on initial, listen, I want to go on a polygraph. I want them to see that everything we're saying is accurate. And again, more than that, the Title 59 Notices of Tort Claim that have been filed are very, very fact-specific and are in fact supported by either documentary evidence, photographs, or not 1 or 2 witnesses, numerous witnesses.
Is there a reason you know why those officers aren't here, why they're not speaking out today?
Straight out fear retaliation. At this point in time, what we've done via a writing, we wrote directly to the Attorney General's office requesting that Mr. Farley be relieved of his duties or at least disarmed. They're scared based on certain rages, fit of rages that they've witnessed Now that they have filed this and it's become public the way it has, and again, it's all public record. It's a public filing, a Title 59 notice of tort claim. They all fear that if they're physically on the job there and he's physically there, they feel for both retribution on the job, career retribution, as well as physical retribution.
Chief Farley, who makes almost $250,000 a year, according to pension records, posted a statement to the department's website after he became chief saying that he's committed to making sure officers have the support they need to succeed, stay safe, and improve quality of life in the community. Farley said in a statement, "I will strive to lead the officers of our department to be an accessible component of our community while maintaining their competency, transparency, and professionalism." But some officers in the 123-member department beg to differ. Michael F. Farron, who's 59 years old, worked as a special captain with administrative duties assigned to Farley's office in 2023. Darren and Farley have been friends and traveled with other high-ranking officers in December 2023 to the Caribbean. In August 2024, however, Farley's attitude toward Darren changed, according to the officer's notice of intent to sue. Darren wrote this in his notice, quote, "Chief Farley chases me around his office. After cornering me in the filing area with no further room for retreat, he sticks a hypodermic needle through my jeans into the tip of my penis." Darren wrote the needle drew blood and that he was further humiliated when he had to explain the injury to his wife. What in the Sam Hill is going on in this office? I don't know about you, but in no world does any of that make sense. How could things get that far? And if somebody was coming at your junk with a needle, wouldn't you do everything you could do to knock this guy out? How is this guy not in jail if that's the case? When another officer filed a notice of intent to sue the department, Farley allegedly blamed Darren for giving the officer information that could be used against him. Darren wrote, quote, "From this point on, the chief creates a hostile work environment." Darren said the chief would shave his body hair on people's property, their persons, and their food. He was also fond of scraping fluids from his underwear onto people seated in the chief's office. What the hell? Darren claims he was on his way to report Farley to the state attorney general's office when a captain called him to fire him. 4 other officers filed allegations against Farley. That's Darren's son, Detective Michael A. Darren, Lieutenant Alex Guzman, Officer Rashid Saim, and Officer Christopher Bowen. They each detailed various complaints of harassment, sexual misconduct, discrimination, and retaliation. Detective Darren said that he witnessed Farley dump a handful of Viagra and Adderall into a coffee pot, stirring the pills until they dissolved, and then waited for somebody to drink the coffee. After that, Darren said he would get his coffee from a K-cup machine because he didn't feel it was safe to drink from the pot anymore. Guzman claims in his notice that Farley on multiple occasions came out of the bathroom in his office, exposed himself to others in the room, and made inappropriate comments. Guzman wrote, quote, "Chief Farley has on several occasions pulled his pants down and defecated on the floor in front of his entire office staff." The lieutenant wrote, quote, "He has also left feces on the bathroom floor, apparently with the intent of having someone unknowingly step on it." The notice further says, Farley also allegedly was clogging the toilet with paper and other objects and defecating in wastebaskets near the desks of other officers. Guzman claims his family members were also subjected to Farley's harassment after the chief sent sex toys, intimate lotions, and gay pride flags to his home. Guzman said, quote, "These items, which were opened by my wife and seen by my children, have caused unnecessary distress." The The lieutenant says in filings that Farley became convinced Guzman had filed Oprah requests to gain public information to use against him. Quote, Farley slandered my name in the department, using me as a scapegoat for all the discord in the department that his poor decisions created. I'm sure Guzman wasn't innocent either. Guzman wrote that he and his family have suffered from severe emotional distress that can be traced back to Farley. He also says he's been seeing a psychologist due to the alleged ongoing harassment. Among some of the other incidents of harassment the officers said they had to endure included Farley placing hot sauce in a microwave, which essentially turned the substance into a pepper spray that permeated the office. Darren wrote, quote, I rushed to turn off the microwave as fast as possible, but the fumes spread from the chief's office throughout the entire police department so badly, the fire department had to be called in order to vent the building and get the scent out. Farley also put firecrackers under officers' chairs, once ripped a television monitor off the wall and smashed it to pieces, and yanked a doorbell off the wall because he felt too many people were visiting the office. And then there's other nonsense that went on and is still going on reportedly in this office, which is beyond childish. It's more like criminal behavior. And Farley looks like he's going to get a pass on this. This is disgusting. Just leave your thoughts about this. If you want, like this video, share this video with everybody you know. What's going on in this police department is beyond me. But I mean, as shocking as it is, I'm kind of not surprised because power tends to corrupt. And this guy definitely looks like he might be a little bit Looney Tunes, if you know what I mean. Subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next video.